So, what is the most important thing you're probably not doing in homeschool? Hi, I'm Dr. Fred Ray Librand, and I'm the proud dad of five homeschooled kids who are all post college, employed, have houses, kids, involved in their churches, doing life, contributing to their community, employed. And I can tell you that we stumbled across this thing and it single-handedly made the biggest difference. I mean, we all kind of pretend, it's scheduling and it's discipline or it's helping them have fun or something like that. And I'm going to tell you the thing that you're probably not doing is you're probably not creating real accountability. In the independent homeschool book, sorry, over there, we talk about measurement. This is related, but I want to show you something that we use in the business consulting that we do that you might find profoundly helpful for your homeschool. So it looks like this. It's about accountability partners. And I'm not exactly talking about accountability partners in school, but that's not bad. But here's an analysis from a management association that pointed out that their actions taken and their probability of implementation are doing it. So if you listen to an idea, there's a 10% chance you'll do it, or people will do it. If they hear something at work or listen to some idea in a meeting. Second, consciously deciding to adopt an idea. So if you consciously say, I'm going to do that, got about 25% chance of making that happen. Third, deciding when to act on the idea, 40%. 5, design a plan to act on the idea. So you actually have a game plan that gets you up to 50%. Awesome. Commit to another person to act on the plan. That'll take you up to 65%. You have a plan and a commitment. 95% probability is when you get a specific accountability appointment with the person to whom you made your commitment. So if you set up a game plan with a friend that you're going to do something and you say, let's meet next week for coffee, and I'm going to show you what I got to accomplish, your odds of accomplishing something go up to 95%. So how do we apply that to homeschool? Well, I'm going to argue that it's really about what you measure. And if you're not measuring what your children are doing on a daily basis, you are ripping the accountability out because it kind of generates an appointment in time to see what they've done, and you'll know it, or their siblings will, or whoever. So what do I mean by that? Well, what we learned is to measure what they got accomplished in math every day. We learned to measure what they got read each day. And in any subject, in writing, we measured how much writing they did. Now, what I mean by that is that you're actually creating a way for them to have a feedback loop, which is where the learning occurs, because they're going to be their own teachers. I mean, really, in learning, when a person has feedback on how their action worked, they can learn. If you hit a golf ball into dark and just hit it over and over, your game's not going to improve that well. Well, it's very much the same with math. If the goal is just to do some lessons or do some problems, that's a problem. Here's what we did. We would assign a certain number of problems, and we would mark what they got correct, the number. Let's say they made a 90. So they made a 90. That was written down, actually. And then they'd do their corrections. And our game plan was whatever they average over time. If they averaged a 90 or above, we felt good about the number of questions. If they were averaging below that, 70 or so, we would reduce the number of problems because we want them to really learn it. I personally believe if you really learn how to do one math problem a day, you're going to be way ahead of people that do problems and don't really learn it. So that's the game with math. Now, what about reading? Well, we would figure out their reading speed, meaning roughly in the book they're in, how many pages can they read in a minute or some period of time? And we'd look at how much time they're supposed to read, and we'd make it very reasonable. But we had a certain number of pages every day that we wanted them to read to. And in writing, certain number of pages, mostly 3 pages, skipping every other line so we can do corrections to get that done. And you can go down the list. You can see it in sports. You can see it everywhere, that when you measure things, it generates some accountability. Now, it really creates accountability when it's known, like by you. So you know what they're doing on a daily basis in number of pages read, and in how they're doing with their average in math, how many pages of writing. And I'm just picking 3 subjects. You can do other things too. This process of learning to set up a way to measure and record is amazing, because it gives the kid, like I said, a feedback process so they can learn to improve. It also creates a huge, significant record for you about what you did. So if and as you ever need to show it to somebody, you've got it right there. So that's the important thing to do. If you're not doing it, you're missing out. And I dare you to give it a try, even imperfectly. Just tell the kids this: we're going to try this for a month. And at the end of the month, we're going to sit down and look at it and see how we can improve it, or see if we liked it, or see, what it did. Let's just make it a family experiment. So, got some free gifts for you down below. Appreciate it if you'd subscribe to this channel and send it on to a friend. And I hope that helps.